All right, hey, welcome to the 14th Cohort's graduation day here on YouTube. This is our 5th cohort that we have graduated completely remotely, and I thank you for all of your participation over the previous classes and the work that we've done to get here today. We have everything today from a new cancer therapy to a scalable mushroom farm. And excited to share our teams with you, excited to see the conversation that evolves afterwards. And as always, I want to thank you for participating with us today on our stream. So without further ado, let's welcome our first team. Let's take it away.
Hello, I'm Avery Abraham, a recent graduate from the University of Cincinnati. I've been working on Akita Studios for a while now, and I hope you enjoy the presentation. Thanks. And we are Akita Studios. We're creating a new way to buy custom furniture without the custom price, using a mass customization model. We're starting in tables and looking to expand in all hard surfaces. Does this look familiar? This is how most Americans shop for furniture today. A large warehouse-style showroom with an overwhelming selection, yet somehow underwhelming results. This is where Cindy comes in. Cindy is an interior designer in Cincinnati, and people come to her so they don't have to take on the furniture showrooms, color palettes, and contractors alone. Business is booming right now for Cindy and many other interior designers, so much so that they literally can't keep up with demand. In fact, they have to turn away customers in large due to the time-consuming task of finding the correct furniture for the space. Akita Studios has a solution for Cindy. Cindy knows what she is looking for, but simply can't find something in the right style, colors, and price range for her clients, at least not without a 6-month lead time. Akita's process helps interior designers by giving them control. Using a curated list of the most popular design elements, customers can build their custom furniture by combining prefabricated parts and a wide range of color options. Akita then delivers the product to your door. No showrooms, no surprises, simply the right piece for the right space. Cindy's problem isn't necessarily unique. There are 72,000 interior designers in the US, taking on 15 to 20 clients a year. In short, this niche has a lot of potential, specifically in hard surfaces, about $1.5 billion worth. We ease the time-consuming task of shopping for furniture and allow Cindy to expand her business and take on more clients and grow. Interior designers are a great niche to start with. If we were to become the primary table provider for 20 local designers, with average cost of our product at $1,000, we could expect revenues of $600,000 plus. After a foothold with designers, opening our market to direct consumers allow access to a much broader market and increase customer flow. There are a number of research studies that dive into something known as the IKEA effect. The phenomena shows that customers will pay 63% more for an item that they had a hand in creating versus the exact same, if not better, product they did not have a hand in designing. On top of the base reasons that Cindy had, millennial home buyers will pay premium not only for a superior buying experience, but also for the fact that they play a large role in the actual design. Akita has came a long way over the last few months. After starting in January, Akita has prototyped the modular design system, taken on small orders, built the website, and has began conversations with contract manufacturers. In June, we hope to really begin marketing efforts and increase our output. But I can't do this alone. In order to truly take Akita to the next level, I need help. I'm looking for partners to join Akita and make these things possible. I need an industrial engineer with a strong knowledge of design for manufacturing practices to optimize our parts and assembly. We also need someone with an eye for design and marketing. I envision large marketing campaigns on Instagram and Facebook and a true revamp of our website to really grow. And thank you all again, and I will open up for questions whenever you guys are ready.
Hi everybody, I'm Yu Yuan, goes by Lotus too. I'm an electrical engineering PhD student. I have devoted my graduate research onto electrochemical-based optimal sensor. So Mark and I here, we're working in the same lab, we're working on the really frontier technology we're really excited to share with you today here.
Yeah, I'm Mark Friedel, as Lotus said. We are 2/3 of the at-home blood test team, along with Zachary Watkins. We're really excited to be here and take the next steps from moving out of the lab and into the real-world applications of this device, and hopefully you can join us along the way. To understand our device, we first need to know what's happening in the medical world. In 2020, in the US, there were over 39,000 reported organ transplants. Following surgery for these patients, they are placed on immunosuppressants to prevent rejection of the transplant at the cost of being susceptible to other infections, viruses, and, of course, expensive return hospital visits. These are life-changing drugs that are attached to life-saving procedures, but dosage adjustments can be tricky. Physicians, insurance providers, and pharmaceutical companies are actively working to increase the efficacy of these drugs while mitigating dangerous side effects. This is a monumental task as each patient's recovery is unique, and there is a need for an improved, personalized approach to post-operative care. One large issue is the lack of data for patients and healthcare providers. Typically, you start a medication and travel it to your doctor weekly or so to be tested and hope you're within the narrow therapeutic range. And if the dosage is not correct, it gets adjusted at this weekly interval. Every day that isn't tested, there is a missed opportunity. What if you could have a patient test themselves at home, providing physicians daily information they need to do their job while increasing sales for testing facilities, labs, and that are normally running these tests, and also lowering return visits for inpatients and the inpatient cost that insurance providers pay. And that's pretty important for them as they normally foot the bulk of the bill of these tests. That is what we plan to do with our at-home blood test. We've designed a rapid blood test that works similar to a glucose monitor. By leveraging aptamer-based biosensing, with a prick of a finger, we can tell you in 15 minutes if you're getting the right dose of medication. This way, doctors can better tailor dosages and post-operative care to each unique transplant recipient's case. We want to sell this to labs, we want to work with the medical laboratories, but why do the labs want our product? Labs that leverage our device can vastly increase the sales or amount of tests they run without the additional cost of full-time lab technicians. Furthermore, the labs can keep their customers happy. Physicians have the information they need to provide cost-effective preventative care and keep their patients healthy, while insurers can lower the risk of costly readmissions or return visits. And there is already a significant market established for blood testing, at-home, and held monitors, and it's only expected to grow. Our device will likely supplement the established testing methods currently available to provide information for the spaces in between. We expect to enter the growing portion of the market rather than directly fighting for occupied space, helping our entry a little bit, but we're not too reliant on that. Our team that is working on this is composed of almost doctors, including Zach, Lotus, and myself, as we've been introduced, that have significant experience in research and design of medical devices and the sensors at their core, as well as multiple patent applications pertaining to the components of our device that are already behind us. Our team has strong competencies in the technology behind our blood test, but we realize the challenges that lie ahead in commercializing our device, which is why we want to work with medical laboratories to get our device in patients' hands. But where exactly are we on this journey? In the past, we've done a lot of the scientific research, the bulk of it, and built some IP around our device. Currently, through the Venture Lab, we are defining our niche and the best point of entry into the immunosuppressant market and establishing a support network to help us along the way. Soon, in late August, we expect to have a minimal viable product built up so that we can go return to this network and say, we've been listening to you, here's what we have to show for it, is this truly what you need? And later, way down the line, after our first product, we want to let you know that we do have a lot of room to grow and expand, that after our first device is launched, we can easily change to include various pharmaceuticals and grow as a company past our first device. But to do that, we do need some help. First, in summary, our blood test is a powerful tool to monitor immunosuppressants easily from home, increasing the amount of tests provided without the need for additional lab workers to run them, so that physicians can optimally control the transplant recipient's well-being. Our team understands that we can't do this alone, and we are currently building a network to get the best understanding of how our device fits in the market. We're asking you that if you can help us build connections to medical laboratories, physicians, and pharmacists to better understand our market, we would greatly appreciate that. And of course, if you can help us build this network, feel free to reach out to us in the Teams chat attached to this meeting, or if email is more your thing, you can scan the QR code or take down my email and phone number and contact our team that way. Of course, thank you for your time, and as always, don't hesitate to reach out.
Hello, my name is Cece Salzman, and I started Puff Foods when I was searching for healthy and convenient nutritious snacks with protein, but without the added sugars or chemicals, and something that was gluten-free. The goal of Puffed is to turn nutritious, traditionally non-snack items like quinoa into enjoyable snacks and healthy dessert options. I'm very focused on creating products that everyone can enjoy without sacrificing quality or health, as someone with food allergies myself. I have enjoyed my time at the Venture Lab, and I have altered my product based on my customers' discovery, and I am very excited to share my learnings and new and improved product with you all. The goal of Puffed is to turn nutritious, traditionally non-snack items like quinoa into convenient and enjoyable snacks and healthy dessert options. Puff Foods offers a healthy snack that is nutritious and tastes delicious. It is transforming traditional foods into a healthy snack, and 75% of consumers eat at least some healthy snacks. There are many consumers who are looking to improve their health through their diet, and Puff makes this easy. I want to explain an example consumer. Imagine Jared here. He is gluten-free and travels every week for work. He had a stressful client meeting and gets on the plane, and the airline attendant starts passing out snacks. The Biscoff cookie looks so delicious, yet it contains gluten, and Jared is gluten-free. Currently, he does not have a delicious cookie he can eat, but he has to watch everyone around him get a cookie that they enjoy. Just imagine how nice it would be for Jared to enjoy a cookie after the day he just had. In today's market, there are limited options on planes, with many options containing gluten, and snacks and desserts that are high in sugar, trans fat, and chemicals, which can lead to major health issues like obesity, heart disease, and cognitive disorders. Puff Foods created Queenies, quinoa cookies, which have added health benefits like high in protein, fiber, and rich in iron, and they are delicious like Biscoff and convenient for travel. Also perfect for the health-conscious flyer. I found that consumers care mostly about the main ingredient, so the focus of the first ingredient is health, and the second ingredients are focused on fun. The goal is to have no added sugars, no GMOs, gluten-free, low-fat, and a high-protein snack. Lastly, Queenies give us the opportunity to focus our go-to-market strategy on specific channels and partnerships, like airlines, and then use that data to share with retailers to gain shelf space. Puffed wants to allow all airline passengers to have a choice and a cookie that they can enjoy. More people are developing gluten allergies each year, and now is the time for airlines to differentiate as they are recovering from COVID. Total U.S. airline passengers each year is around 900 million passengers. Around 30% of Americans avoid gluten, with around 6% with an actual gluten allergy. And if around 50% of all airline passengers snack on the plane, that's 150 million people annually that Queenies can serve on airlines. The current solutions on airplanes offer a gluten-free cracker or granola bar, which is not indulgent like a cookie, or like a Biscoff, which are not gluten-free. This is a perfect opportunity for Queenies to offer gluten-free and nutritional cookie to those focused on health or avoiding gluten, and give airlines the opportunity to show that they are human and that they understand. They don't want their passengers to go without a dessert that other passengers have access to. Quinoa cookies help travelers who are gluten intolerant or who want a healthy dessert by providing convenient and delicious snack and dessert options on airplanes with added health benefits, as they are high in fiber and protein and rich in iron. Prior to the Venture Lab, I was working on a product that was very healthy, and through customer discovery, this has transitioned into a product that is also perfect for the gluten-free airline traveler, kids, and adults. Now I am working on finalizing the new recipe and plan to have this done by the end of July. I am working to find a local manufacturing facility to develop Queenies in, and working on legal requirements to protect myself, the product, brand, and develop necessary FDA requirements. The goal is to have all of this completed by the end of 2021. Then I plan to explore interest in partnerships, including airlines, meal kits, Weight Watchers, schools, etc., to gain data points, and then use these insights to gain shelf space down the line in retailers. Here's a bit about the team. Currently, it is just me working on this product, and a bit about my background. I currently work in marketing at Kraft Heinz, where I manage the emerging channel business, like ghost kitchens. And prior to this, I worked in brand management at Kraft Heinz. I also have past experience in CPG consulting at IBM. I am very focused on finding products that everyone can enjoy without sacrificing quality or health, as someone with food allergies myself. This is a great opportunity for a partner, as there is a lot of potential in healthy snacking with increased government regulations and the current market on ingredients and consumer concern and interest on their health and well-being. I'm looking for a partner that can assist with connections with the food scientist and nutritional labels, unique ingredients, and then also legal requirements, including brand and product protections and FDA requirements and a UPC code. With your help, gluten-free and health-focused airline passengers can be eating nutritional and fun desserts without gluten and the added unhealthy ingredients by the end of 2021 with quinoa cookies. I'm looking for assistance with finding a local manufacturing facility to make the product at, food scientists to measure nutrition and assist with recipe finalization, and legal aspects like branding and product protection, and assistance with FDA regulations. I am excited to bring Queenies to the market, and thank you for listening. Please let me know if there are any questions that I can answer.
Hi, I'm Danny Meyer. I'm a pediatric physical therapist. I primarily treat patients with neurological conditions. We collectively are the bridge, and our whole goal is to get people out of places like these and out into the community.
Hey, I'm Dr. Victoria Heasley, and I'm a resident in physical medicine and rehabilitation, but I also have a background in engineering, and I love combining the two to get patients out in the community and participating in adaptive sports.
And hi, I'm Fred Newrohr. As someone with a notable visual impairment, I've dedicated my life and career to advocating for people with blindness and visual impairment, from working with the American Foundation for the Blind in New York to today working in pediatric low vision for Children's Hospital. And together we form the bridge, where we bridge people from where they are to where they want to be in terms of adaptive sports.
Take a second and think, how easy is it for you and I as able-bodied individuals to play a sport? It's as easy as going to the store and buying a baseball glove and then going out to the field and playing that sport. Now think if you had a disability as of tomorrow. How would you get involved in a sport? What would you do? Where would you even start? This is an everyday problem for hundreds of thousands of people in the greater Cincinnati area and as many as 61 million people all across the country. We are the Bridge Adaptive Sports and Recreation, and we're trying to help solve those problems for individuals with disabilities. We're the only certified nonprofit you're hearing from today, and we're happy to report we just received our official 501c3 status at the end of April. Our mission is to increase awareness and promote opportunities for individuals with disabilities to participate in adaptive sports and recreation. And by doing that, we're hoping to create a community where people, regardless of physical abilities, can fully participate in competitive and leisure activities in a way that's meaningful to them. To help put things into perspective a little bit more, an able-bodied sports costs very little to at least go out and try. Just go grab a glove from Play It Again Sports for $5 and you're in. Adaptive sports, on the other hand, can be very, very pricey. Basketball wheelchair is going to cost you maybe around $3,000, and that's never going to be covered by insurance. So equipment is one of the highest reported barriers to participating in sport for individuals with disabilities. This is how we can help. We mentioned equipment and costs. We want to raise money to purchase new equipment and get our current equipment up and running. We want to improve access by increasing the number of opportunities for adaptive sports by facilitating the development of new programs and supporting existing programs. And lastly, we want to raise awareness in the community to fill up those teams and the chairs that we're putting together. So let's put this into a real-life example for you. This is Pat. He's a 12-year-old in the Cincinnati area who suffered a mid-thoracic spinal cord injury, which essentially means he has no use of his legs as well as the bottom half of his trunk. Prior to his injury, he was a basketball and football player, and that's really where he found his identity. For months post-injury, though, he struggled with weight gain, he was leading a sedentary lifestyle, and just lacked his sense of identity in anything. So as his therapist, my end goal was always to get him out of my clinic and into his community. We're no longer just functional here, we're thriving. So Pat was finally able to get into a tennis chair, and he is loving it. His family's all in too. Pat told me his grandma bought all of his cousins' rackets so they can go and play in the parking lot. But this is just one guy, though. There are over 330,000 Pats in the tri-state area who need help regaining their self-worth and find their identity in something outside of a hospital. Wait, so how did Pat get his chair? Through us, of course. Free of charge, too. The Bridge has a bank of well-loved equipment that we are currently rehabbing. Chairs for tennis, basketball, track, and believe it or not, wheelchair rugby, and then loaning them out at no cost. But we want a greater capacity to start supporting new and existing teams, including tennis, basketball, parafencing, rugby, hand cycling, track, and so much more. But we need your help. The process of coming together has taken quite a while. We came together back in 2019 as like-minded individuals. We got rolling on all the paperwork, filed for our nonprofit status, and then fast forward to this April and May when we received our status and we got our first 6 tennis chairs out the door and loaned to new athletes. By the end of year 1, we want to loan out 12 more pieces of equipment and then facilitate the development of 2 new adaptive sports programs. The Bridge, by the end of year 3, will become the leading and only provider of adaptive sports equipment in the tri-state area.
So this is our team, most of it anyway. We're seasoned rehabilitation professionals, advocates, doctors, engineers, all dedicated to the betterment of people with disabilities, bridging them from where they are to where they want to be. Because at the end of the day, our people don't need things to be easy, they need them to be possible, and that's where you come in. So, all day in the rehab rooms and in the offices of Children's Hospital and UC Health and so forth, we don't have a lot of spare time to do the marketing, to do the communications, to do the website that looks nice and slick, to do the CRM. We need someone to help us out with that. Also, procuring new wheelchairs, wheelchair parts, labor to help repair things when things go wrong, relationships for sponsors who can help us put together events for adaptive sports that bring together people with disabilities to have a good time. And then lastly, designers and engineers who can help us develop the next generation of adaptive sports technology. Thanks very much for your time today. This has been a wonderful process to be involved in. and we look forward to your support, your questions, your emails, and connecting. Thank you.
My name is Tyler Collishaw. I'm the founder of Epiphany. We're a modern day brand that aims to improve the cleanliness of our towels. We aim to launch our flagship CPG product in the US in the next 1 to 2 years. The inspiration behind Epiphany is driven by the problem itself. We are the consumer too. We need and want a product like ours, and this mentality has driven us so far. After learning about the problem and speaking to esteemed microbiologist Dr. Charles Gerber, he sent me his personal studies to give me an idea of just how much bacteria is on our everyday towels. After reading them, I felt like I had to do something. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you would like to learn more or if you think you could help us.
I'm excited to tell you more. This is Epiphany. Do you know what's actually on your towel? We were alarmed when we found out. Only 20% of people use their towel the amount that experts recommend of 2 to 3 uses before swapping them. Around 50% of Americans use their towel more than 5 times before putting them to wash, with the average being a week. The bacteria on our towels has been proven to cause things like staph, skin irritation, infection, flu, wart spread, pink eye, and for some people, the aggravation of their acne. These kind of issues really affect people's self-confidence.
Like all of us, New York model Marissa Hunter uses a towel to dry off her hands and face. She uses that same towel when she comes out of the shower. She's fresh and clean, but what about that towel?
Do you know what's lurking in your towels?
No, I hope nothing. Well, let's see about that. Using a standard testing procedure, we swabbed her towel with sterilized Bacti swabs. And then we sent them off to Microm Labs in Davie, Florida. 2 weeks later, the results came back. Would they be nice or nasty?
We found 1 fungus and 5 different bacteria, including E. coli.
No, oh no, that's awful. Wait, there's more. Marissa used the same towel for a week. On day 1, the bacteria count was 260,000, but by day 7, it had shot up to 650 million.
What?
Million.
Million with an M.
Unbeknown to many, our towel is the perfect habitat for bacteria to colonize and then multiply because the fabric is often moist and warm. Our bathroom plays a pivotal role in bacteria growth too, because they're often dark and humid. There just aren't any products on the market that solve this issue. There isn't anything that specializes in killing the bacteria that lives on our towel. All current fabric sprays aren't skin friendly and are built for hard surfaces, stains, and odors. So that is why we created Epiphany. We want to be the go-to product for your towel. The average American household spends $795 a year on cleaning supplies. If you've experienced the problems that the bacteria in your towel can cause, you'll understand the need for Epiphany. If you haven't, we'd ask you this. Wouldn't you feel better knowing that you're doing something to prevent developing these symptoms? We've always said, you've not had staph infection until the day you actually get staph infection. So we introduce to you the Epiphany Towel Rejuvenator, our flagship product that focuses solely on your towel. It allows you to keep your towel usage habits the same while offering an easy and effective way to make it cleaner between uses. You just simply spray your towel down either before using it or after drying off and let it kill those invisible enemies. It's a minor routine adjustment for such an important problem. Your self-esteem matters to us. Our packaging is transparent, letting you see exactly what you're spraying on your towel each time. It sprays a fine mist to avoid drenching the fabric or leaving any damp spots, allowing you to use your towel right away because the Rejuvenator kills all bacteria and viruses on contact. We hope we can change the stigma and convince people it is better to prevent than to treat. Science will prove that your towel is cleaner if you use Epiphany. Our team is on the same page. We share the same passion and vision for the brand. We are open to help, and by no means do we know it all. Dr. Hassett is a world-renowned scientist, coming off recent awards for entrepreneurship and recognition from Stanford University as being part of the top 2% of scientists in the world. He currently holds 6 patents and sits on the board of 2 publicly traded companies. Together, we'll focus all our efforts on making a product that improves lives. We're making great strides. We've talked to over 1,300 consumers, we've built our website, designed our product, found our unique ingredients, and began communication with potential supply chain partners, just to list a few. We still need to test the safety and efficacy of the product, but our plan is to begin our free user trial soon, which we hope will give us valuable information before we launch direct to consumer via multiple online channels sometime in 2022. In order to continue swimming into a blue ocean, we seek help financially to aid with the testing of our product. We want to be backed by science while driven by data. We'll also seek guidance from people with experience in the consumer packaged goods industry and also from marketing experts. The benefits to being first to market could be huge in the long run, but we'll offer challenges from the beginning. It'll be our job to convince people that they need to solve this issue, as well as persuading them to choose us to be the ones to help them. We see an opportunity there with the heightened sensitivity to hygiene beyond the pandemic, with about 53.9% of people saying that they've improved their hygiene habits because of COVID. So let's make towels cleaner. There is no time to waste. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Hannah Capers. I'm the founder of Fuse Photobiomodulation Headphones. I'm a designer, design researcher, and strategist here in the Cincinnati area, and I have a passion for sports, design, and marketing, and where all of those come into conjunction. I'm really excited to have been a part of this cohort program and looking forward to pitching with you today. This is Fuse Neurophotobiomodulation Headphones. Fuse Neurophotobiomodulation, or PBM for short, are the only product among consumer-grade neurological devices that offer seamless light therapy integration into stylish headphones, providing a solution that's easy to use, portable, and affordable. Before I jump into the technology itself, a little bit about the red light therapy. So it's pretty simple near-infrared light therapy, and it goes into the brain at a cellular level to create ATP within the cell that rejuvenates more and more cells. The benefits are that they improve your memory, your cognitive function, and your sleep quality, to name a few, and that it alleviates headaches, depression, and side effects from traumatic brain injury. And because the world's best athletes train their bodies and their brains, Fuse's mission is to empower athletes to perform at peak levels. And the cost of athletes of healing is a lot higher than just the general population. So 35% of athletes deal with a mental health crisis, and some experts believe that college athletes are seeing depression at epidemic levels. Looking forward, there's about 242 concussions per year in the NFL, and that will continue to rise. In the past year alone, it cost the NFL $1 billion in lawsuits from retired players covering up concussions. And then looking at the competition in the headphone space, Sony and Bose kind of lead the way in the athlete category, coming in around the same price point. And in PBM specific, V-Lite is the leader in neuro application, Novathor in full body, and Juve in the at-home category. All of these had very different price points, but the barriers for entry for Novathor is that it takes around 45 minutes of laying in the bed doing nothing else, and it's extremely expensive. With Juve, there's problems with dosage and using at the right times. And then V-Lite Neuro PBM, its overall look and feel is a little bit clinical and intimidating. And Fuse finds that happy medium between headphones and light therapy. And how did we end up in headphones? Well, in my ethnographic research and talking to many different athletes, I found that they were inundated with so many therapies throughout their day. And as I followed them, I realized one common thread was that they were all wearing headphones to use as a tool for focusing throughout their day. And I thought, what a better application than in something that they already use. So Fuse offers that easy integration with on-the-go and multitasking abilities as opposed to the competitors at an affordable price point. It's easy to track their improvements and usage through our app that also would pair with different wearable devices for reminders and updates. At the bigger picture, we're hoping to be in around $700 with this red light elastic band for a snug fit, targeting the temporal, occipital, and parietal lobes of the brain, offering noise-canceling abilities, and an easy targeted treatment for about 30 minutes each. This is the ability to have clinical-level treatment, but at home. Looking at the market, we're really focused on that sports industry, which is about $560 billion a year, and that sports tech in that industry is looking about $31.1 billion by 2024. But Fuse's unique cross-market potential is where headphones and light therapy also come into play. So with over-ear headphones growing about 33% of the market to $25.9 billion, and with light therapy, wearable at-home therapy, about 16% growth to $7.6 billion. And that crossover comes to about $565 billion between the three in opportunity space that is Fuse. The timeline looking forward, so we're hoping to get a fit and feel prototype by the end of this year with a working prototype by 22, so we can go into efficacy testing to apply for our FDA approval in 2023. The end goal would be to launch in the NFL or in a major sport category by the end of 2023. Future verticals and opportunity spaces are the mental illness and disease categories, military applications, as well as academic performance as this pertains to the brain. And our team is made up of myself, the founder, and my co-founders Josh and Scott, who are both directors of human performance at the Rockefeller Neuroscience Institute, as well as Jordan and Mark, who would add as an assistant to this project and team. But what we're really looking for is an engineering prototype. We are really needing some help taking the technology that is in the V-Lite application and applying it to the stylish look and feel and brand of Fuse so that we can test that fit, function, and efficacy. So let's work together to create a technology that can change the game and change the brain. Thanks so much for taking the time to be here today, and reach out if you have any questions. Thanks.
It's very special to me because it captures that vintage feeling very well. It's just such a good feeling that you don't get at a regular retail clothes. I feel like these things have a history behind them, and that's good.
Is a community producing and specifically remade product.
Slow fashion.
Yeah, we're recycling a lot of clothes.
It's using what we already have.
Honestly, a brand could not pay for that good of a look.
Because the item is made out of used things.
It's an alternative manufacturing method.
To a treasure hunt for t-shirts your dad might have worn.
Hi, we're Germ Earthwear.
It is Sunday evening and Alex is eating dinner with his family. Alex, how do you like the shirt that I got for you today?
It's nice, but I don't really like things from PacSun anymore.
But isn't it your style?
Yeah, but I read an article today about PacSun, and they don't treat their employees very well. All their clothing is manufactured in third world countries, so I just don't want to support them anymore.
Alex isn't just one person. He is Gen Z. Creative, independent individuals that value feelings and ethics when it comes to shopping. Here we start to understand a new type of consumer from a puzzling generation that is about to be the biggest player in market power.
Gen Z consumers are very acute to climate change and are starting to disrupt the fashion industry that we all know today with a new movement called secondhand fashion. Secondhand fashion includes thrifting, reselling, and repurposing used clothing. The projected market value of the thrift and resale market is predicted to surpass fast fashion before 2029. The market is also forecasted to grow 5 times in the next 5 years, while retail shopping is shrinking.
All data shows that this is the fastest growing movement in fashion today, with no signs of slowing. The second-hand movement embodies uniqueness and sustainability, which are at the core values of Gen Z consumers. At the thrift store, good graphics and branding are what give used garments their value to consumers. But the clothing that lacks these usually go unpurchased. For us, the problem had a clear solution. If we could introduce new graphics and add solid branding to these garments, we could create an emotional connection with these consumers. Every shirt we touch is a shirt safe from the landfills.
Germ Earthwear provides a youthful take on sustainable fashion by using secondhand clothing and post-consumption waste as raw materials to handcraft new products. We are building a community of like-minded individuals. Younger consumers that want to stand out relate to the vibrant lifestyle we project and purchase products to be part of this club.
Our culture is different. We fully embrace sustainability, but we never talk about it. We all know we need to be more sustainable, but no one gets excited to buy things that we need. People get excited to buy products that they want. We promote a culture of optimism and creativity by only talking about the fun stuff and backing that talk up by doing the right things behind the scenes.
Upcycling is a process of transforming useless or unwanted products into new materials or products of greater value. In fashion, this is achieved by altering garments through processes like sewing, dyeing, and printing. Here's our brand's approach to upcycling. We use a tight set of branding guidelines to create a cohesive look between styles that invite our consumers to look closer.
We promote optimism, creativity, and an appreciation for the natural world through our expressive designs, interactive website, culture-building Instagram, and the events that we host. Germ Earthwear is much more than a brand. It is a culture.
Before, your clothing was just your own story. Now, you're wearing the collective consciousness of positive change in the world. Other small brands at Upcycle are not our competitors, but rather allies in the fight to steal market share from fast fashion brands. Disrupting an industry is not an event, it's a process.
We are a talented duo of designers that have a passion for learning, but we lack critical business knowledge. We gladly welcome feedback and criticism as a means for personal growth.
We aren't particularly talented, we just work harder than most. About 1.5 years ago, we started this business by hand dyeing old t-shirts in our apartment. Fast forward to a couple weeks ago, where we just hosted our own independent fashion show for our brand. This has been a trial and error journey for us with lots of turns. We're looking to make a critical pivot in our business plan that will streamline our process and create a deeper connection with consumers.
Already have a few concepts exploring new and interesting ways to connect with our consumers. We are seeking an energetic mentor that is open to exploring these ideas and getting a little weird with some of them. Outside of mentorship, the immediate areas we need help is in acquiring a trademark, building a more professional website, and increasing efficiency in our production.
So today, we will leave you all with our optimistic vision of the future and the question of, do you want to join us on this journey?
Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Alicia. I'm here with my colleagues Hannah, Todd, and Mike. We are GlobalCast MD. We're here to tell you about a great company that changes the paradigm of medical education. We are hoping that our mission helps clinicians today and in the future. Enjoy the presentation. Hi, we are GlobalCast MD. So today, how do you learn? If you're like the mainstream community, you learn by going out and downloading a video, listening to a podcast, going out and asking a question over social media, or even doing a little VR and gaming. But what we found is medicine is and was lagging behind. They use a lot of journals and textbooks, as you can see with Dr. Fauci's office. And in 2009, our owner-founder decided to change the mission, have a mission of changing the paradigm of medical education. He took boring old conferences that were in person with the clinicians, revamped them by working with network TV, and made them fun, engaging virtual events. And over the last 11 years, we've fine-tuned those to be really awesome virtual presentations that our clinicians love to attend. And what we created from them was a lot of virtual content, digital pieces that were fun, short, animated, and engaging. But then what we found is that content was growing rapidly. So whether it was us or people in the community, it was all over. So if you were a clinician and you wanted to learn, it was hard. So just like vinyls became MP3s that needed a place to call home, we believe medical education can be created into great digital content, and it needs a medical platform for our clinicians. So Stay Current in Pediatric Surgery was born. We took audio, video, a little bit of gaming, social media, wrapped it all together, and in 2019 we created a medical platform for pediatric surgeons, and we got great feedback. With that feedback, we did a little fine-tuning and we revamped the product to create a modern-day medical ecosystem. So not just the content consumers of the clinicians that can access data, but the content providers, the societies, the publishers, the hospitals, and individuals that can be part of this medical community of education and learning. But then what we found is that a lot of our industry partners were interested in being a part of it too. But how do we make money, you ask? Well, here's our business model. From back in the day of 2009, we still have a large part of our business having our revenue through live events. We also have partnership with hospitals, pediatric hospitals, to create content. But what is this 7%? Well, it's the Stay Current in Pediatric Surgery app that we think is the next wave of digital technology. We believe the old methods of reaching clinicians are outdated and limited based off geographic region. We believe that we can help sponsors reach larger audiences in a more meaningful way on a regular basis and not just an expo. We believe societies can have global reach, increase membership, and expose their content that's really worthwhile. We believe individuals that won't be known otherwise can have a platform to introduce themselves to the clinical community. And we believe hospitals can strengthen their brand as leaders in healthcare. But in order to do all that, you need the eyes within the app. So just like I said, in 2009, we released the beta, but 4 months ago, we put out the new version. And ever since then, we've had great adoption of clinicians in the pediatric surgery community. And we have 92% as MDs, and it's free. So how do we get the market size? Right now, we're working with a really small niche of pediatric surgery, but the potential is out there to grow into all of pediatric subspecialties and then all of pediatrics, and that's not even adult medicine. So how are we going to market? Right now, we're working with the top pediatric hospitals, according to US News and World Report. Even though there are 550 globally, we're kind of targeting those that we can have great partnerships with to get content. We're also partnering with societies and associations globally that have the largest spread, reach, and membership so that we can work with them to get their content too.
And then, of course, our industry partners that are leaders in pediatric surgery. We believe with all of these content providers and the eyes of the market, we will have something truly worthwhile. We do have competitors in the space. We believe that they're very niche. They're not creating ecosystems, but we would be naive to think that we don't have the big competitors coming right behind. We have a wonderful team of digital experts, but today our ask is that we are looking for leaders in the medical digital education space to help us strategically grow. If that is you, we would love to hear from you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chen Yingdu, an associate professor in the cancer biology department at the University of Cincinnati College of Medicine. So I run a liver research team. We strive to understand how the liver disease is developed and progressed. We also aim to develop anti-liver disease therapy. So we hope to bring our knowledge from bench to the bedside. To achieve this goal, we have developed a new intervention fighting liver disease. This topic is what I'm going to talk about to you in my seminar. I'm going to talk to you today about a new intervention that my team has developed for treating patients with the liver disease called NASH. NASH is non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. It's a deadly disease. The pathogenic causes of NASH remain unclear. There is no approved curable medication for it. A friend of mine, Amy, was diagnosed of NASH by ultrasound and liver biopsy. It was really surprising because Amy is not obese or diabetic, which are the major risk factors for NASH. Her doctor, the hepatologist, told her that the disease typically starts with having too much fat infiltration in the liver, then evolves to inflammation of the liver, which is called hepatitis or steatohepatitis. It can progress to the end stage of it, cirrhosis, and further progress to liver cancer. Although lifestyle change is helpful with steatosis, unfortunately, it doesn't help much with the advanced NASH. Because there's no curable medication available, what her doctor could do is really limited, letting her take vitamin E to slow down the progression. But vitamin E is not a cure. In the end, Amy will need liver transplantation to restore her liver function. This makes Amy really anxious about the outcome, which is waiting for transplantation or die. This is a terrible situation. Her desperation is the same desperation of those 6 million NASH patients. We think we may have found a cure that can deal with this NASH condition. Let me tell you what we found, how it works, and why it works. By treating a preclinical NASH mouse model with our pill for 10 days only, the NASH liver, which is paler and bigger, was reversed to a normal looking. In addition, key features of NASH were also effectively reduced by the pill. This includes remarkable reduction of the levels of total liver fat, oxidative stress, and the liver inflammation. The liver condition is basically reversed back to nearly normal. So this pill is not just a treatment, it's a promising cure. Then why our pill works? Inside of liver cells, there are many mitochondria, which are tiny organelles. They participate in fat metabolism. The balance of fat production, degradation, and secretion dictates the liver fat contents. Loss of some mitochondrial proteins, therefore loss of their function, can tip this balance to fat buildup and steatohepatitis. Our pill can restore the normal mitochondrial functions, bring the fat balance back to normal so that to reverse the NASH condition. The pharmaceutical market opportunity for any anti-NASH drug is huge. It's estimated to be $1 billion because the lifetime cost of all NASH patients in the United States is around $222 billion. If we also count the cost of liver cancer that are progressed from NASH, the cost is going to be even bigger. With our pill, we have the confidence to wipe out the cost and improve patient care. Our next stage for this product development is to test the efficacy of it in NASH patients. We strive to get the clinical trials ready in a couple years. Although we have the strengths in anti-NASH research, I'd like to emphasize 2 points. First, development of this pill into medication is only feasible with your help. And second, to make the paradigm change with our pill is only possible with your support. So in this regard, I'd like to welcome you to bring your strength to our biotech startup for business organization and clinical trials. I hope I have convinced you our anti-NASH intervention is a game changer. Thank you so much for your time, and here is our contact information. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dan O'Reilly, founder of Gimbal Innovations and inventor of the Momentum 1080. The Momentum 1080 is a revolutionary motion platform designed to enhance virtual reality flight simulations like the one I'm doing right here to make them way more fun and way more realistic. I'm excited to share the following presentation with you. Please enjoy. Virtual reality, or VR, is a digitally created experience where a three-dimensional environment is simulated with the real world, and this market is exploding. The recent releases of low-cost, high-resolution VR headsets such as the Oculus Quest, coupled with the latest personal computers, has allowed software creators to provide incredible virtual experiences available to almost everyone at home. Specifically, seated vehicle VR flight and space simulations such as Digital Combat Simulator, Star Wars Squadrons, and the incredible Microsoft Flight Simulator just released this past December are very popular. While essentially non-existent just 10 years ago, the global virtual reality market size was valued at $15.8 billion in 2020 and is expected to grow at a compound growth rate of 18% between 2021 and 2028. So what's missing from this experience? Typically, you fly the plane from your desk or gaming chair. It's a pretty amazing experience, but it's definitely missing the excitement of actually feeling like you are in the airplane. Gimbal Innovations is poised to change that and take virtual reality to visceral reality. Now, with all the low-cost VR headsets and software titles recently made available, companies have been launching their own personal motion platforms using conventional technology, but they have drawbacks. The inexpensive ones have limited motion, typically no more than 45 degrees. There are a couple full motion simulators, meaning they can rotate in the complete 360 degrees, but they are incredibly expensive. These full motion designs also require a lot of space and power and are out of the reach of most people. Things can be improved. A quick background about me. I'm an aerospace engineer, actually a UC grad, with an unrelenting drive, creativity, and passion to do what hasn't been done before. I have sculpted a career specifically taking me on a path to learn the skills from some of the top companies in the world necessary to design, manufacture, and operate a business making and selling products that will have a positive impact on the world. Gimbal Innovations is the embodiment of these skills and values. So what is the Momentum 1080? The Momentum 1080 is a game-changing motion platform for VR that provides smooth, fast, and unlimited motion in all three axes at a fraction of the cost, size, and power requirements of other full motion platforms. It uses technology typically relegated to spaceborne applications to generate the actuation forces that are typically provided by hydraulics or electric motors of conventional motion platforms. These forces are exerted on a unique, lightweight, spherical body that rotates freely inside a fixed concave base. It is designed specifically with cost and size in mind to be able to fit inside a typical residential home and plug into a standard outlet. It is intended to bring the incredible sensation of flying to almost anyone who wants it. The initial target market for this invention is the VR flight sim and gaming community. This would be the quickest and lowest cost entry point. Let's just look at Microsoft Flight Simulator market released in December 2020 to get a sense of scale. Latest projections show Microsoft Flight Simulator should sell more than 2 million copies over the next 2 years. Then, using a 2020 survey of 17,800 responders, let's assume that only high-incomers over 40 years old would be interested and able to purchase or lease this machine. Not to mention the multitudes of ultra enthusiasts out there that spend tens of thousands of dollars and years of their lives to build their ultimate dream machine in their basement or garage. Applying these ratios to just the Microsoft Flight Simulator user base suggests the total addressable market is greater than 500,000 people. Other interested markets are military and civil aviation flight training and entertainment complexes. These industries represent another $9 billion market to tap into. The technology on this invention is complex. I have been working hard over the past 2 years ensuring the concept is viable. The basic mechanical design of the full-size production unit is nearly complete. Construction of a half-scale prototype has started and is progressing well. A critical aspect of the design is the actuation control system. My hope is to get immediate assistance on the control design while I simultaneously am finishing the mechanical construction with target to test by the end of the year. Once the concept is fully validated, I will get the IP protected and start taking advance orders. I project the first units could be shipping in early 2023. I do need help though. I need a machine shop with CNC milling and turning capabilities to fabricate several components. The most critical element to resolve is the control system design. I've had promising discussions with an expert in this field that lives in the tri-state area. I'm hoping that this expert will be able to take my crew control system and make it fully operational. After that is complete, I will need help on the IP protection and then working to go into full-scale production mode. In closing, I think we are on the cusp of some amazing technology that will change how we work, play, and live. I think the Momentum 1080 is part of that story. I want to thank all of you for your time and the UC Office of Innovation for this amazing opportunity.
Hi, my name is Lily Hunter. I am a sophomore at the University of Cincinnati studying horticulture, here to talk about my startup, New Life, something that started as a quarantine project that just got a little out of hand. But before I get into that, let me introduce you to someone. Meet Laura. Laura is a new restaurant owner in the city of Cincinnati. With new restaurants popping up in Cincinnati each year, Laura is looking for new ways to stand out among the competition. One of the ways she hopes to achieve this is by adding vegan and vegetarian dishes to her menu. These dishes she hopes to make reminiscent to those containing meat so that she can appeal to more than just the vegan and vegetarian market. So what are her options? Well, her organic options include tofu, tempeh, black beans, and chickpeas. Although these options can be made into a variety of tasty dishes, they lack the texture, taste, and look of meat that Laura is searching for. This leads us to our second option: plant-based meats. Plant-based meats like Impossible Meats and Beyond Beef meats offer the same texture, flavor, and look to that of real meat. However, there are some drawbacks with these options. One is that they are very commonly used, so it's hard for startup restaurants to differentiate themselves when using these products. They are also tough to find in quality bulk proportions due to many manufacturers working directly with chains. These are not uncommon problems either, with 51% of restaurants looking to add vegan and vegetarian options encountering these at one point or another. But what if there was a third option? One that is organic, mimics the texture, taste, and look of meat, while also having the ability to be used in other dishes to make them more unique. First, allow me to prove something to you. Which one of these is made using a plant-based alternative? What about these chicken fingers? So these are all actually made using plant-based alternatives, and this plant-based alternative is mushrooms. Mushrooms, when used in the correct variety, can mimic many different textures, flavors, and looks of meat. What else do mushrooms have to offer, though? Well, mushrooms are packed with vitamin D, B vitamins, fiber, potassium, and antioxidants such as selenium. They are also an extremely healthy part of our diets, and 17 studies in America have shown that eating one medium-sized mushroom every day of any variety decreases your likelihood of getting cancer by up to 45%. So why do more restaurants not utilize this produce? Well, the problem comes with variety. The majority of varieties are not available in the Cincinnati area or anywhere surrounding it. This is where we come in. New Life Mushrooms is a mushroom farm dedicated to bringing variety to Cincinnati. Varieties they won't be able to get anywhere else, such as lion's mane, king trumpet, maitake, and exotic oyster mushrooms such as blue, gold, and white oysters. We also believe in helping the environment in any way that we can. Mushrooms are already an extremely sustainable crop because of their ability to be grown in compact environments, requiring small amounts of water to grow, and generating less carbon dioxide than any other crop, including vegetative crops. But we would like to push this even further. One of the ways we hope to do this is by using 60% recycled material to grow our produce. Recycled materials such as coffee grounds, sawdust, and cardboard are completely free to us and will also give us a price advantage to our competition. We also plan on utilizing every part of our mushrooms production, specifically the valuable byproduct of mushroom mycelium, that can be composted and turned into a rich fertilizer for farms and gardeners in the area. Currently, our only competition is Monterey Mushrooms, who has a farm located in Pennsylvania. Monterey Mushrooms only sells button mushrooms to the Cincinnati area, and they save their specialty mushrooms for local restaurants in Pennsylvania. This gives us a wide gap in the market for our farm to move in that has little to no competition. Currently, we are on our prototyping stage, where we are looking to understand the variables of our production and testing our different substrates to see which ones are the most prolific in production. Next, we plan on moving to customer identification, where we find out who is interested and, more specifically and importantly, how we will deliver our products to them. Finally, we'll get to launch in production, where we will promote our business and our produce and build our relationships with our customers. We need your help. We are looking for someone who understands the ins and outs of restaurant marketing, so we can determine the best way of reaching our customers, whether that is by creating a partnership directly with local restaurants and chefs, or by partnering with outside providers, such as the Findlay Market, that many chefs in the area shop from. So if this sounds like you, let's collaborate.
Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy Razak.
And I'm Matt Salzman. Jeremy and I are both recent UC grads with experience in software development and business administration.
Today we're going to talk about our project Nimble. Nimble was inspired by many of the challenges we faced while we were taking remote programming classes during the pandemic. We started working on it as our senior design project, but through the development cycle, we noticed our project could actually fill a hole in the market that wasn't being met by anyone else.
With the push to move online happening as we speak, we think Nimble has the power to revolutionize the way programming online works today. Thank you everyone for coming out, and we hope you enjoy our presentation.
Hi, this is Jeremy Razak and Matthew Salzman. We're presenting our project called Nimble. We make cloud-based development environments easy. Let's meet John. He's a computer science professor, and he's always thinking of ways to improve his students' learning, so he knows all about the latest teaching tools. He really likes how on Khan Academy's website, students can practice coding right in the browser and get instant feedback. He also likes how he can push mini coding challenges to his students using SkillStack. They can just log on and complete them and send them right from the browser back to John. John has a great idea for a learning management tool that he can use to assign his students homework and provide advanced feedback to them. He wants it to run in the browser without the need to download anything like his other favorite tools. For this, he knows he'll have to provide a way for students to write and run code from the browser. John knows there's a lot of web-based development environment tools already out there. A web-based IDE like Replit or Amazon's Cloud9 seems a great choice for this project. However, if those don't work, he's pretty sure Trinket or one of the other dozens of embeddable code snippet tools he knows of will work. All these tools suffer from the same problem. They're their own finished project, not meant to integrate with anything else. They have a purpose, and that isn't to be part of John's project. Let's use an analogy to make this easier to understand. If you were building your own social media website that allows video uploads, you wouldn't try to host all those videos on YouTube. Even though YouTube seems to do exactly what you want, you could embed the videos on your website. However, you couldn't easily add things like cool filters or facial recognition to automatically tag people. You don't have the access to the backend of YouTube that you need because they didn't design it for people to build projects around it. In a similar fashion, John can't use existing web-based IDEs for his project because they don't provide the necessary hooks necessary to integrate with other projects. Nimble, however, does provide these hooks and can be used as a basis or platform for creating projects that require web-based IDEs.
For a traditional non-cloud-based IDE to transition to a cloud-based, a company would need to develop a robust backend for code execution. Regardless of the company, the requirements for the backend are all very similar. We've created and want to offer a pre-configured backend as a service, taking the development time for companies that want to accomplish this from years to months. We currently have a working prototype and are continuing to add advanced functionality so it will meet the needs of serious developers and exceed many of the industry standards.
To summarize, Nimble is a platform for others to build applications on top of. It allows companies who need web-based IDE technology to reduce their development time and cost. And it's different from existing solutions because of the advanced features that we provide and the ability for us to include a user interface for users to use as well.
Development for our project started last August, and we are continuing to add new features. Fast forward to this May, we would like to decide our final requirements for the project, and if we hit all the milestones, we think we can begin the rollout of our minimum viable product this August.
Currently on the team is me, Jeremy Razak, and my partner, Matthew Salzman. We're both recent UC graduates with experience in the software development space. We're seeking a partner that has the time to devote to our project, knowledge of running a software as a service company, or connections in the education software space would be a huge benefit. A technical background of developing web applications also would be a huge plus, but not really required.
In order to take our project to launch, there are a couple things that we need help with. The first is we think we need about 3 developers for 8 months. Next, we need some marketing consultation and a security consultant. And lastly, we would like some connections to the education space where we really think this product can make a difference. Thank you everyone so much for listening to us today. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to reach out to us. Our contact info is listed below.
Good morning, everyone. I am Paul Lee, the President and CEO at Innovator Device. We design and manufacture on-site blood and plasma self-sampling devices for blood tests.
Welcome to my company, Innovator Device. Now, we are working on innovative medical devices for healthcare community. So, what is the best way to screen your health condition at home? You can access my chart website and you can talk to your doctor virtually. Your doctor's gonna order a sampling kit from LabCorp for you. Then, you can sample your blood by yourself at home and mail it to the lab facility. Finally, you find the result through my chart safely and securely. And you can share the results with your doctor. You can just stay at home for your blood test. Fairly simple, right? What are the pain points while sampling at home? The first problem is insufficient blood volume for analysis. You will get false negative results here. And there are some variations with hematocrit level. You see the color differences here. Samples could be contaminated as well. You will get inaccurate results in this case. Additionally, there are no user-friendly plasma sampling technology. Can we solve these problems? Sure, no problem. So, how's my solution gonna be a game changer? Using an innovative microfluidic technology, we are gonna reduce user-driven sampling failure like the volume control of blood. And we drop the kit price with this technology. We are going to increase the sampling safety for the end users. We are going to increase the margins of samples like plasma sampling as well. These are all benefits for our customers. We also have an intellectual property for this technology. What are the next steps of our solution? I'm going to talk to LabCorp, one of our customers, about our new solution. And we are going to manufacture the prototypes of our solution and optimize them. We are going to evaluate the effectiveness of the devices and collect some clinical data. Then, we are trying to file the patents and submit SBIR grant proposals. We are going to do the FDA regulatory requirements and field trials of our devices. I'm going to ask EIR for our following milestones. What is the market opportunity? The total market is the global capillary blood collection device market. It's growing up to $6.4 billion in 2025. Our target market is the global self-sampling device market. It's a fast-growing market. There are several competitive players in the market, and we have a new product in this market. What about my team? Here's my team, me and Meyer. We are going to design and manufacture the prototypes of the devices. I'm trying to hire 2 more engineers for the project. And we have a clinical advisor, Dr. Kim, for the clinical trials of our devices. Again, I'm going to ask EIR for the support of our following milestones. Here's my company's website and my contact information for you. We are working on new self-sampling devices for newborn babies, pediatrics, handicapped, and senior citizens. Thank you for listening. Any questions?
Good morning. My name is Steve Farsing, and I'm the founder of Prospect Stream. My partners and I have significant depth in sales processes, and I personally have been a sales trainer, consultant, a CRM expert for over 20 years. We have been building and testing a piece of software that we call Sales Process Management. Sales automation that we all know of is commonly called CRM. And the fundamental problem with the current automation is that it's critical to productivity. What I'm about to tell you comes from recent research from Gartner, American Marketing Association, HubSpot, and a few others. But the bottom line, they need it, but they don't use it. Now, some of the specific data. Only 3% of CEOs use data from their CRM in their decision-making process. Less than 20% of sales managers use it to manage their sales teams. And as many as 80% of salespeople either use only pieces of it or don't use the tool they are supplied at all. And marketing struggles to include CRM in their data analytics process. Why? It's too complex. It's difficult to use. Inconsistent data. And bottom line is insufficient value to the user. The main problem really is current technology depends on the user to manage a very complex sales process. So they're unable to manage simple techniques like how often do I call somebody, and knowing the best course for a conversation or when to ask certain questions. Those hundreds and sometimes thousands of variables are in fact predictable and manageable with our proprietary sales process engine and AI, and will significantly increase sales results, in some cases as much as 400%. Let me give you an example. Brenda was one of a dozen new hires for one of our test companies. Halfway through the sales training, she came to me and said, "I don't think I can do this." And, in fact, compared to everyone else, she was a novice. I told her, just rely on Prospect Stream. Call the people it tells you to call, have the conversation it's going to put in front of you, ask the questions as it's giving you the questions. And in fact, within 3 months, she was #1 amongst all salespeople, which led them to follow her success. And they grew over 4 times and increased their average order volume by 50%. So Prospect Stream's been tested for over 10 years, and we have had tremendous learning. And our system works. All we need is to finish the final version, apply the final lessons, and launch to our first few target markets. In fact, we have letters of intent from enough companies to fuel our first year's sales. So let me introduce you to the team. So Manny Rijos is our CEO and has a very deep understanding of technology. Mike Carr is a co-founder and started as a sales rep, ended up as a sales management executive for a Fortune 100 medical insurance company. Steve Doler, professor of industrial design, is our UI UX expert. Dino Martis is CEO of Genexia. A lot of you know Genexia since they're a graduate of this program. They've agreed to be our partner for AI development. Zach Murphy is going to be our CMO, and Nanette is our head of training. A fantastic team of people, and what we're asking is very simple. We're looking for like-minded people to augment our great team and find brilliant people to push us further and faster. I appreciate your time and look forward to your questions.
I'm Will Tepe, and I'm from the team AI Predicts Useful Drugs. I'm a fourth-year physics student at UC, and for the last 2 years, I've been learning about artificial intelligence. 9 months ago, I had the pleasure of being introduced to an expert computational biologist who had a research interest in machine learning. He shared with me his vision of how AI can impact the drug discovery industry, and since then, I've been expanding on a lot of his ideas and adding some of my own. That eventually led to this project with the end goal of resembling what AI-assisted drug discovery can look like 10 or even 20 years from now. Without further ado, please enjoy this presentation, and thank you for your attention. Today I'll be talking about an up-and-coming application of AI in healthcare. Bringing a drug to market today will cost you over $2.6 billion and take over 10 years. As this is such a steep investment, the pipeline is usually split into stages where different companies take on different stages. In this work, we're going to focus on this earlier stage where everything is done on computers. This represents about $3 to $5 billion per year in total expenditure. The work itself is usually done by small teams of highly skilled individuals, structured as a startup, a small business, or just academics. These small teams are usually funded by grants. We're going to focus on the problems they face from the perspective of a small startup. The team usually starts with a data set of hundreds of millions or billions of possible drug candidates. Their primary goal is to select a subset that's worthy of laboratory testing using only computer-based methods. Doing this well represents a major cost savings once the work is picked up by a team doing the lab testing, since computer experiments are far less expensive than lab experiments. Researchers look at the millions of candidates and they ask, which of these are useful? The better they can answer this question, the more value they create as a startup. There are two objectives that the team has to consider. Both of these objectives have to be met in order for the startup to create any value. The first of which, if the set of drug candidates produced by the team is too large, researchers are going to waste a lot of time combing through them, and that makes the candidates much less valuable, so we need a manageable number of candidates. Second, if the candidates are, on average, not very good, lab researchers are going to waste a lot of time doing more tests than necessary, as the individual results won't be great. This is going to be very expensive and therefore much less valuable, so the candidates need to be good. The ability of the team to meet these two objectives depends on, in most cases, the quality of the simulations that they do. Let's talk about what this means. So to figure out how useful a drug candidate is, researchers can simulate how it interacts with a given target. Simulations with lower accuracy, on the order of 0.1%, are frequently done as they can be done very quickly, in a matter of days or hours. Alternatively, simulations that yield a much better accuracy, on the order of 2 to 3%, are significantly more expensive and takes months to run on high-end hardware, which is usually rented by the hour. Unfortunately, more often than not, the very expensive simulations with high accuracy are required in order to meet the objectives I described previously. For a small team with limited resources, access to highly accurate simulations can present a large competitive barrier. Small teams, therefore, have to think very hard about the trade-offs between the ultimate quality of their candidates and their budget. Our solution helps these teams navigate these challenges by offering a tool to do more accurate simulations faster. We've developed an AI that approximates the complicated and inefficient chemistry computations that make these traditional simulations so expensive. We're able to reach nearly the same accuracy as the high-end experiments, but our method is much faster since we simplified much of the hard math, and we're able to use specialized, highly optimized, very efficient hardware. We hope that our tool will be able to give smaller companies a competitive edge and remove the large barrier to compete effectively in this market. The project has been under development for about 9 months, and so far we've obtained a proof of concept results that shows that to a high degree of confidence, our results and our approach should work. We've also queried active researchers to determine what they're looking for in a tool like this, and done technical research about market alternatives and related work. We've also made substantial hardware investments, which have allowed us to cultivate a research codebase with over 10,000 lines and do hundreds of hours of experiments. We've also made progress in developing a web app for researchers to use our technology which will soon act as the beta prototype. By the end of the year, we hope to begin beta testing and determine an opportune time to begin the FDA approval process, all of which will optimistically lead us to market. Lastly, we're looking for data, nothing proprietary, as what we would need would likely be non-public. We're also looking for active researchers to beta test the tool, as well as active computational drug discovery researchers, or a singular researcher, to occasionally consult, beta test, and answer more specific technical questions. This would likely be back and forth lasting several months.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lu. Our team developed anti-cancer drug for prostate cancer therapy. Prostate cancer is the leading cancer and the second leading cause of cancer deaths in men in the United States. 1 in 8 men will have prostate cancer in their lifetime. For the gentleman just diagnosed with cancer, therapy depends on the cancer stage. Based on the FDA guideline for the advanced prostate cancer, androgen deprivation therapy is the mainstay treatment. However, almost all advanced prostate cancer progress to castration-resistant cancer in 2 years. For CRPC, chemotherapy using docetaxel extends life by 2 to 3 months. Then the second-generation anti-androgen prolonged patient survival by another 4 to 5 months. No other therapy is available anymore after failing these 2 lines of therapy. New concept is treat cancer as a chronic disease, like a hypertension. If one therapy failed, use another one. Therefore, there is a great need to develop novel anti-cancer drugs. Enhanced AR activity is the driving force of prostate cancer progression and also the therapeutic target. AR is an androgen-activated transcription factor, and the androgen binds to AR at the androgen binding site and keep it in the inactive form. For CRPC, there are 2 bad actors. One is overexpression of PCNA, the second is overexpression of AR, as well as the truncated AR, called ARV. ARV lacks the androgen binding site, is superactive. Anti-androgen is not effective for ARV. We found that AR and ARV interact with the PCNA through the PIP box containing 8 amino acids. These 2 bad actors help each other to enhance AR activity. We designed R9-AR-PIP peptide, including 8 amino acids of the AR-PIP box, linked with 9-arginine. Polyarginine helps the peptide to enter the cell, and the peptide binds to the PIP box binding site on PCNA, which block AR binding and therefore inhibit AR activity. This is an innovative strategy to block AR activity for prostate cancer therapy. Global prostate cancer market is $65 billion, and the lutamide alone is $6.2 billion. Peptide drug is about $50 billion. R9-AR-PIP peptide is at the stage of a preclinical study. We will modify the peptide to improve the stability and affinity, and then evaluate anti-cancer effect in mice carrying CRPC tumor. We will then perform the preclinical study at the GLP level, which is required by FDA for clinical trial application. Venture capital is critical for the drug development. SBIR grant is very helpful too, since the project can be validated by scientific community. R9-AR-PIP peptide is protected by UC provisional patent. The advantage of peptide drug is a high specificity and the less of targeting effect. We believe upon successful development, this novel therapy will improve cancer survival and quality life in prostate cancer patients. Our team includes Dr. Dong and me. We just finished the preclinical PK/PD study of small molecule PCA inhibitors for CRPC therapy. Our team have experience in SBIR grant application. We also welcome licensing or form a partnership for commercialization. Here's our contact information. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jill Huang, and I lead Parent Connects. I've worked at Beachacres Parenting Center for the last 22 years, and we believe in the power of parents. I am joined today by my team, a colleague from Beachacres named Nikki Zellen, and a pediatrician named Dr. John Muma, and we are excited to share with you all about Parent Connects. Parent Connects. Parenting specialists connect with parents and provide one clear next step in their parenting journey. Parent Connects is powered by Beachacres Parenting Center. This is Liza. She's a 4-year-old little girl who loves painting, soccer, and playing with her baby dolls. Her mom had noticed scratches on Liza's face here and there in the past. She would typically look at the scratches with curiosity and ask what happened. Liza would tell her mom she didn't know. One morning, Mom walked into Liza's room and saw Liza scratching her own face. Mom was stunned. She ended up reaching out to Liza's pediatrician and was scheduled for an appointment within a few hours. Mom was scared, confused, and worried. What happens when pediatricians are expected to answer all parenting questions ranging from potty training to porn? The challenge: 80% of pediatricians report they lack confidence in their capacity to meet their patients' social needs, like Liza scratching her own face. The solution is Parent Connects. Pediatricians are trained in motivational interviewing, and Parent Connects specialists meet virtually or in person with parents to co-create their parenting solutions. In the case of Liza, after examining the scratches on Liza's face, the pediatrician asked Mom some questions. Were there any recent changes at home? How is the preschool going? Any changes with sleep or eating? Parent Connects works because we use a proven natural strength parent coaching model. It's evidence-based, as deemed by the CDC, and we create change in just 3 sessions with the effect lasting 3 months later. For Liza's mom, when she connected with her parenting specialist, she revealed that she and Dad were thinking about divorce and that Dad had moved out a few weeks prior. Within just 3 sessions, Mom was encouraging Liza to share her feelings in healthy ways, and Liza had stopped scratching her face. Imagine if our healthcare system took over graders. One industry expert described the industry complexities as imagining if you're buying an ice cream cone and it meant one person picked the flavor, one person paid for it, and one person ate it. This is the challenge we are dealing with today. Who is our customer? That's another challenge. When we look at the quadruple aim of healthcare, we have 4 different customer groups that we could approach to support our work. Parent Connects was part of a 2-year randomized trial where we proved a reduction in sick visits. When we look at the reduction in healthcare costs, health networks saw that as lost revenue and weren't very happy about it, while another customer, health insurers, saw cost savings as very positive. Again, who is our customer? Let's go back to Liza. Without Parent Connects, the scratches would be treated at that visit for $167. She would return, likely again, with more scratches. Anxiety would increase and it could lead to mental health visits. The cost per patient would be more than $35, and the bottom line would be high cost and a slow-paced intervention. With Parent Connects, the scratches were treated during the visit with her mom, and then she would be connected with Parent Connects. The underlying issue of divorce would be addressed and stress in the home would decrease. The cost per patient would be 8 times lower, and there would be a quick intervention. Liza's mom is not the only person reaching out to us. Parents are in need of support. My child seems anxious and withdrawn. I don't like the way that my home is. It's not like I imagined it would be. My 5-year-old has new behaviors, screaming, lying, urinating in various areas of the bedroom. Parents need help, and Parent Connects is here for them. We're not a startup. We've been around since 2016, and we've served many families with great positive satisfaction results. Help us help others. Our ask today is that you help us connect with leaders and experts in health insurance. Help us learn more about the health insurance industry. Help us identify opportunities with self-insured companies. Help us develop our sales approach and tools, and help introduce us to sales director candidates who may have a healthcare background as well as a passion for families. We are here for questions, comments, and feedback, and are happy to engage with you. Thank you.
All right, hey, Grant Hoffman again. Thank you for sticking it to the end of this presentation and staying with us. Hopefully you found it engaging, or you found a team or two that you'd like to roll up your sleeves and start to help out. Our next cohort graduation day is going to be August 10th, which sounds like a long way away. Hopefully time will fly and you'll be able to sit with some of our teams in the next round. And we thank you again for your time today. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.